I'm Brooklyn. Standing in the middle of my newly renovated restaurant, Maison Brooklyn, I take a deep breath, surrounded by the warm hum of satisfied diners and the intoxicating aroma of French cuisine. It's been 6 months since the night my world turned upside down, and now, as I look around at the thriving business I've built, I can't help but reflect on the journey that led me here. 6 months ago, I was the invisible force holding my family's restaurant together. My parents, Henry and Victoria, had poured their retirement savings into the lease of a high-end Manhattan restaurant, but it was me, Brooklyn, who had spent 2 grueling years perfecting the menu in Paris. I was the executive chef, the one who bled onto the cutting boards every day to make the restaurant a success. The opening night was supposed to be a celebration, a chance for our family to shine. The dining room was filled with the Manhattan elite, eagerly awaiting the culinary experience I had crafted. But instead, it turned into a nightmare. My sister, Lily, had always been the golden child in our family. She had a business degree and an elegant demeanor, but she knew nothing about cooking. That night, she was dressed in a stunning floor-length sapphire silk gown that cost more than my monthly salary, paid for with the money from the small business loan we took out for the restaurant. As I was busy managing the chaos in the kitchen, my father, Henry, stormed in. He was wearing a custom-made Italian suit that cost a fortune. Without a word of thanks for my 14-hour shift to ensure everything was perfect, he scowled at my flour-stained chef coat. "Brooklyn, what on earth is wrong with you? You look a mess. The dining room is full of important people, and you're out here sweating like a laborer. Stay in the kitchen and don't ruin Lily's big moment." The profound disrespect was not new, but that night, it felt like a physical blow. I had spent years being the family scapegoat, the one who worked hard while Lily took all the credit. And then, Lily glided into the kitchen, looking like a model on a runway. She walked up to me and criticized the saffron-infused sauce I had just drizzled over the fish. "This looks terrible, Brooklyn. Remake it immediately. It doesn't look appetizing." I was in utter disbelief. I tried to explain that it was a perfectly emulsified sauce, a technique I had learned in Paris, but she rolled her eyes. "I don't care what they do in France. Make it thicker and whiter, like ranch dressing." She then announced that she was going to present the menu to the most powerful hospitality investor in the country, Mr. Alexander Reed, who was sitting at table 4 and ready to write a $7 million check to take the restaurant national. I let out a bitter laugh. "Lily, you don't even know the difference between a shallot and an onion. How are you going to explain the flavor profiles to him?" But she just smiled smugly. "I have the business degree and the face that sells the brand. Nobody wants to invest in a sweaty, exhausted girl like you." My father reappeared behind her and commanded me to stay hidden in the kitchen and let Lily secure the investment. In that moment, I realized that my family saw me as nothing more than a tool to be used. They had used my resume, my Michelin training, and my hard work to lure in the investor, only to push me into the shadows. The anxiety that had been gripping me all night evaporated, replaced by a cold, calm determination. I slowly took off my chef coat and untied my apron, letting it fall to the floor. Lily panicked and told me to put it back on, but I just looked at her and said, "You wanted the spotlight, Lily. It's all yours. But you better learn how to cook fast because you're not going to survive the appetizer course without me." I grabbed my bag and walked out of the kitchen, leaving the oppressive heat and the toxic family behind. As I got into my car, my phone rang. It was my brother-in-law, Ethan. He was the financial manager of the restaurant and the only one in my family who treated me with respect. "Brooklyn, don't go back. I just found the finalized investment contracts. They cut you out completely. Lily is the 90% majority owner, and your father holds the remaining 10%. You have zero equity." A wave of pure rage washed over me. This was a calculated financial theft. My own family had betrayed me. I decided that I couldn't just let them get away with it. I remembered that 6 months ago, when I noticed my father acting secretively about the bank financing and excluding me from meetings, I had hired a corporate attorney, Mr. Thompson. Together, we had formed a private LLC under my name, Brooklyn Culinary LLC. I had copyrighted every recipe, every menu design, and the brand name of the restaurant. I drove straight to Mr. Thompson's office. He had already prepared the legal documents for me. I signed them without hesitation, knowing that I was about to burn down their stolen empire. Back at the restaurant, the situation was quickly deteriorating. Lily was trying to present the menu to Mr. Reed, but she was completely out of her depth. Mr. Reed started asking her basic culinary questions, like the 5 traditional French mother sauces, the difference between a confit and a standard sear, and the mirepoix base. Lily couldn't answer any of them, and her facade quickly crumbled. Mr. Reed then received the email I had sent from the parking garage, exposing the fraud. He was furious. He tore up the $7 million check right in front of everyone, and the restaurant's reputation was destroyed. The next morning, the bank called my father, demanding immediate repayment of the business loans due to the intellectual property theft and financial mismanagement. The bank was going to foreclose on their house and freeze Lily's trust fund. My father and Lily were in a panic. They called me, begging me to come back and save the restaurant. My father offered me a 5% equity stake, as if that could make up for all the years of abuse and betrayal. But I had already made up my mind. I was done being their doormat. My father then tried to salvage the situation by going to the restaurant to liquidate the assets. But when he got there, he was hit with a wall of putrid odors. The unpaid line cooks had walked out, leaving the kitchen in a disastrous state. And then, an inspector from the New York City Health Department showed up, having received an anonymous tip from me. The restaurant was shut down, and an eviction notice was served. Just as my father was in a state of despair, I arrived in a sleek town car. I was dressed in a tailored burgundy wool coat over a sharp black cashmere turtleneck, looking every bit the successful CEO. My attorney, Mr. Thompson, and 2 security guards were with me. My father was in shock. "Brooklyn, what are you doing here? Did you come to help us?" I looked at him coldly. "I'm not here to help you clean your rotting kitchen, and I'm not bringing you any cash. You stole enough of my money to buy Lily her designer wardrobe." He tried to threaten me, but the security guards stepped in. I then revealed that I had bought the building. Mr. Reed, after realizing the true value of the menu and brand, had provided the capital for me to purchase the property. I was now their new landlord. I gave them 30 minutes to collect their personal belongings and leave. As they gathered their meager possessions, a locksmith came to change the locks, a symbol of their complete defeat. Now, 6 months later, Maison Brooklyn is a thriving success. I've created a restaurant that reflects my true culinary vision. The dining room is always full, and the atmosphere is warm and inviting. Ethan, who divorced Lily, is now my chief financial officer, and together, we're building a new empire. Looking back on that dark night, I'm grateful for the strength I found to stand up for myself. I've learned that blood doesn't always make a family. True family is built on loyalty, respect, and mutual growth. And I've surrounded myself with people who support and believe in me. If you're out there, struggling with toxic family members, know that you have the power to walk away. Build your skills, master your craft, and never let anyone tell you to stay hidden in the kitchen. You deserve to shine in the light.